Good morning, Rashid.
Good morning, Warren.
Welcome to our interview series. We're basically just, speaking to just normal people that trying to make money out of the markets. It's not about money. It's not about prestige. It's more about knowing where everyone fits into the paradigm and to help people that listen to it understand that they're not alone and that most people kind of have the same issues, the same joys, and so on. So thank you for taking the time to answer a few questions. What made you decide to trade the financial markets in the first place?
I started trading these markets in 1986 when I was serving articles. And it looked like fun. It looked like easy money.
Okay.
And I've never stopped since then.
Well, that's a long time to be in the market, so you know lots of things.
Yeah, it is. And look, at that time, the market was very different. 1986 to what it is now. Very, very different.
Yeah, you had to draw the charts by hand and phone the broker, eh?
No, I don't think I knew anything about charts then. So you guys came and threw my life upside down.
What do you, that's a long time in the market. What do you currently focus your time on and which time frame? So which market and which time frame?
Intraday trading, and I do still prefer some of the longer trades because I have a perception of where the market should be, and sometimes one backfires.
That'll happen. So you're trading indices?
Indices would be the Dow, US Stack, and the DAX.
All right.
I find the Aussie can be a monster as much as the DAX. I haven't traded the DAX much, but the Aussie would be nice if you catch the right side of it. The moves are too big.
Sure. Yeah, and the Aussie also, I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's been terrible anyway. Yeah, intraday, there hasn't been much movement, not enough to really make money on it anyway. The Dow and the NASDAQ are pretty decent.
What I find difficult in the Aussie is the gap ups. And, I would stay into a position and 100 points, one Aussie contract gives you $100. It doesn't excite me. I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't excite me. But when it moves 500 points and you got 10 contracts and you're on the right side, wow.
Yes.
But you're more likely to be on the wrong side.
And I see you say here that you are still interested in equities, so in stocks?
Yes. Right now, I've got quite a few gold stocks.
Okay.
I've been with it forever, some of it through inheritance. They've paid themselves over and over in dividends at those days when they were good dividends.
Sure.
So I think those shares are free. And yes, about maybe 2 years ago, I took Harmony and I bought it for $20. See, where's it sitting? I think I'm like maybe, there's a lot of nostalgia. Okay. My dad talked about the markets, gold and that, and I think that's gold. Gold is one, if you get it right, it can be great. Otherwise, you just sit. I know everyone tells me short gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have some CFDs on that one from an old account of mine.
Okay.
That's where it is. But if I have to tell somebody to invest, like my son, he doesn't want to do this, but I'm investing in equities for him on the longer term.
Okay. No, that's a good way to do it. You'll see the benefit later.
Yeah, he'll think his kids will think, yes, my grandfather was smart, but they don't know how much. Well, if you're going to inherit all of that, then he would be smart. But if he takes everything with him, what a dumbass.
What have you found most difficult when it comes to trading?
Stop losses.
Okay. That's fair enough.
It's psychologically, it's hard to lose money.
Okay.
Right? So depending on your threshold for pain, ouch. Uh, if you trade big, you're already in your intraday trading. If you trade big, as you enter the trade, you're on a big stop, or you're on a big loss already.
Sure.
Okay. And if it goes against you, you're always hoping that it's going to come back for you. Sometimes you got to just take it, close, and if you trade properly, you will make that loss up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
I've just done that overnight. I said, I know I need to take this loss, and I'm going to make it up. Made it up. Stop losses that you guys emphasize so much on, and I know you particularly put in a stop loss. You don't put in a TP.
yeah, I mean, look, everyone to their own thing, but stop
Yes,
losses are
but
important.
I find that also good because okay, take your loss. The TP, if this thing runs in your favor, you're gonna make tons. It's not always like you're gonna lose tons. If you have a plan, you can make a lot of money out of this thing.
Sure. Look, the difficulty of trading big is exactly that. When you take a stop, it actually hurts. So
Yes.
to get your head around the math is quite important. And if you understand exactly what you're saying now, that a stop loss is actually not really about the money. It's about being able to make another trade. Because
Correct.
that's really the strength of a stop loss is that you're out of the market. You can now think clearly for the next position.
Yeah.
If you
I
find,
find
I mean,
I
that's,
find hedging difficult. It messes with your mind. I think it's better just to close the one
mm-hmm.
and do a new trade.
Awesome. Well, that's progress. Because that is what it's about, eh? It's a take the loss because it's always going to get bigger. It's very
Yeah.
seldom that your stop loss level becomes an absolute end of the market move. Often it'll just continue to move against you, and eventually you freak out and panic out of the trade just as the market turns again.
You're more likely to make both bad trades if you're
Yes,
hedging. Yes.
sure. Oh, excellent. Uh, what have you found to be really, really interesting about trading?
In the last 2 years since I've been with TTH, I now believe a lot more in the technicals, how well they play out.
Okay.
Okay, even for a period of time, you guys work out your technicals, your fibs. Even with a tweet, if that thing goes against you, it's bound to get back to those levels or those numbers, even if it's going to take 3 days or a week. So if you're nice position, you can even stick that one out, even if you hedge that, because you know that is a totally different trade, and then you can continue trading with the market on the other side because of news or whatever it is. But I find all these levels that are given at some time or the other, they will get hit.
And of all that stuff, what's your favorite um, strategy for levels?
Recently, the 50-50 trade on a one, it's almost like a given. Both are going up or down, one through the stock, one through the 50 MA, and it looks like it works. I take trades a little earlier than the 61.8 or the 38.2. I don't know what. If I see the momentum, then I'll take it earlier because it gives me a little bit of an edge.
Sure.
It does as well. It does if it turns, but then again, everything's about position size, and I'm still not disciplined on my position size. And if I get the trade wrong, I add to it, hoping that okay, one is going to break even, and the other one's just going to make me the money, getting back to where we were. And but a lot of it is psychological. What I don't like is news flow, tweets, Fed. All those things mess with me. So
Yeah, all
even if
those unexpected movements, right?
yes,
Okay.
and I think we spoke about it before. Fundamentals, they don't seem to be coming into play at the moment. markets, for me, some of it are very, very overvalued. So that gives me this perception of where the market should be, and that gets me into the wrong trade. Or I try and use normal day-to-day experiences at work. Have guys that have garnishee orders. I mean, for the last 10 years, I've had people that have garnishee orders, okay? And you think, no, man, things are bad out there. Something's not right with this market. So you already set your mind that markets have to come down. And for 10 years, the markets just went up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There was a big disconnect in lots of situations in the market. But you got to try what you see. The market doesn't like what you like. You got to like what the market likes.
Yeah, and I think the markets are not running on fundamentals anyway. They run on cash flow. So wherever the money's going to get a yield,
Yes.
every manager out there, a fund manager, has to produce a yield. So
it's not about valuations anymore.
No, they're out the window. Eh?
I mean, how would we value shares before? If you close this business right now, you sell all your assets, this is what it's worth. I mean, if you close a FANG business, one of these certain companies, there's going to be no value. It's just intrinsic value it's almost like in the old days, balance sheet, goodwill.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, FANG being the Facebook, Apple, and so on, right? So, no, absolutely. People are buying future technologies. Google, with machine learning, Google's going to be massive, and it's going to continue to grow until someone comes along and steals their thunder.
These guys are fortunate that they got it right and they've made big money, so they have but someone can always overtake you. But I think the FANG stocks are there to stay for a long time. I don't believe that any of them are going to go bust, but I never say never, because Enron went bust as well. Nobody would have thought about that.
Yeah, no, well, we can't actually see lies. Facebook's been under a bit of pressure, obviously, with the boycott on Facebook advertising. But is it going to end them? No, it won't.
You talk about boycotts. It's just throwing another dimension to this whole thing. So there is a very big possibility that these guys' businesses can be impacted, because if you see what's happening in the States, whether it's Black Lives Matter or anything, social discord will have an impact on anything.
Sure.
We just don't know how. We just don't know how strong. And a lot of things is marketing. And if you market your product right, even if it's a bad product, if you market it right, it sells.
Sure. Okay. On the other side of this coin is, what do you find the easiest part of trading for yourself?
Banking quick profits. I don't know if that's easiest, because I'm chasing losses still. So, but if you bank, or when you bank quick profits, it makes you feel good. It makes your next trade easier.
Okay.
And it's important, if you've got a few rands in a bank already, you think, okay, I can afford to lose 20% of that, but it gives you confidence to trade. And I find that makes my life much easier if you bank the first few quick ones.
Okay.
If you start with a loss, it's already thrown you. You need to then know when to walk away. Just not trade, because then you're chasing and chasing.
Yeah.
And revenge trading doesn't work. It just gets you into bigger trouble.
For sure. And, everyone is slightly different in the market. So you have to do what you are most comfortable doing. So I'm glad that you at least know what you like to do.
I know all the rules. I just can't apply them all. The one in the mind. I know the FUBs I can apply those things.
Yeah.
But the one you need to sort out is the mind. Stop losses, take your profit, don't move your TPs.
So you need to just reach out and grab that discipline, Rashid. You run a nice business. It's exactly the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
if a project is going square, you have to fix it. You have to call a stop loss on it. Trading is no different from your business. It requires cash flow. It requires discipline. It requires you actually pulling the trigger, whether it's in or out. Um, Try thinking of it in terms of if this was my only business, how would I trade? And that might help you just find a better way to make the execution.
We'll put that one into play as well.
Yeah. What gets you excited about trading?
When trades go right for me, and I'm disciplined. When I take a loss, and like you previously asked, if you take a loss, you executed the trade properly, and even if it's a losing trade, it doesn't hurt.
Mm.
Because I've done something right. I've in my last 24 hours, I've taken a loss, but I actually feel good about that loss because I had a plan. I knew, take that loss, you're going to make it up with other trades. I didn't preempt, okay, what could happen with this? Why must I take that loss? So when I get it right, I'm excited and I'm like, no, I want to do the next trade. I'm looking for it. But then all your discipline kicks in because things are going right. When I think the whole idea here is just to walk away when things are not going right. Clear your mind. Because if you stick to the computer, you stick there with trading, you're going to just make a big mess of it. And I've actually, with this lockdown, I've actually got used to just walking away. Otherwise, I look at my computer all day. It's my phone. No, it consumes you.
It does, eh?
Look, I enjoy the market. I get excited about it. But it does all. End of the day, this whole thing does come down to discipline. Absolutely, because the rules are there. Those things are not going to change. It's your mind that has to change.
Yeah. Okay. Well, try and hold on to that feeling, eh? When you do get it right, because there's nothing better than a trade that all the rules were followed and it worked in your favor, whether it's profit or loss. You take a
Yes.
stop loss and the market continues to move against you. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, because that's also a win.
Yeah,
Because hold on, I only lost $1,000. It could have been 5.
sure.
So I actually made 4,000 rands.
Yeah. That's the right way to do it. That's the right way to look at it.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered putting in a percentage of capital as a target for your trading?
No,
Okay.
no.
And is there a reason for that?
I'm
I find it
chasing.
interesting because most
Like I
people do.
said, I'm still chasing losses, so I don't. But I have now decided that if I hit certain levels for the day, I'm going to either just cool off, not trade, or trade a smaller, just so that my profits grow consistently after I have a good day. So I do have targets, but I've got this massive target. Now
Okay.
I've decided to cut it down into smaller compartments, do it on a daily story, because had I just done that for the last year and taken consistent profits, I probably would have been a long way at achieving my bigger target.
Okay.
And I knew that all along, but I just could not apply it because
Sure.
for 3 days you can do it, or 5 days you can do it, and then in one day you just decide, I want it all today because the market is going in my favor. And believe me, it only goes in your favor for 15 minutes. After that, it blows your account. I can
Those
speak
15.
openly. I can speak openly without mentioning numbers in it. And why I do this is because guys that are trading out there, it's not a nice feeling losing money. It's not a nice feeling losing money. And I wish all the guys trading out there to make something. And even if it's slowly but consistently, especially the new guys. And I'm sure there are a lot of guys out there that have lost money and are doing the same thing like me, trying to chase and make up that money.
Yeah.
But if you do it slowly and consistently, believe me, you're getting there.
Well, I strongly believe in starting at zero.
I think you
That,
need to you need to hit the reset button every time.
yeah. Yeah, every day it's a different account balance. Who cares what you lost 2 years ago? It's about today and today's trading idea.
You know,
So,
somebody asked me what's the most difficult uh, money to make up. I said losing the first million. And
the second one's easier to lose, Rashid. Is that what
no,
you
the second one probably will be to make up. If you make
I don't-
so, yeah.
But that's why it's actually very important. I know that yeah, most traders that have been in the market longer than 5 years have got historical losses. If
Yeah,
one
and I'm
focuses
not,
on trying to make that back, you end up getting nailed because the market
yes,
doesn't care about last month.
yes.
So we have to work on today's account balance and forget about yesterday. And then, 5 years down the line, suddenly the money's all back and you didn't even know it.
And you didn't even know it. If you start with uh, the
Yeah, it's
nice thing,
without
the profits
drop
and
that
walk
idea.
away.
Yeah, history
I
hurts.
think, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, history hurts. So when we continuously focus on what happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we end up in a position that actually today is no longer matters because the mountain is so big. I'm never going to climb it anyway. Is kind of in the back of your mind.
And we all know history repeats itself, and we're the ones that's repeating it.
Yeah, especially if you keep focusing on it, it
If you
tends to
keep
recur.
focusing on it, you're going to keep losing that kind of money, or for that matter, anything else.
Sure, I mean
So
it works for the entire life. You had one bad relationship. If you focus on that, you're going to have another bad relationship.
true.
So, yeah, start at zero. I strongly believe that today's account balance is the only important thing. Yesterday's and tomorrow hasn't happened, and yesterday's no longer counts. And then we just
Correct.
keep moving forward. And we talk about these things, and money is quite an emotional and a very personal idea. So, why? What would make you stop trading the markets?
I've never thought about it, but
Mm,
if I run out of capital, or I have, I have considered it. I have considered it, especially this index trading. Okay, the risk, and
mm,
because I think on equity trading, put your money there. You know what's your downside. You go to bed and you sleep easy. Uh, but I've now recently I've almost tried to treat this as equity trading as well. So we're in a sense that I'm not going to worry about what I got in there.
mm-hmm.
I know where it's going to take me. I know what my losses are. So it's like buying an equity. If the company bellies up, you
Yeah.
know that's it. So I'm trying to get this to the same, and it can be done. Although it's indexed, I know it can gap up or gap down.
Mm,
But uh, if you're watching the market, then you can play your higher, bigger positions because you're there. I used to, there's a lot of times when I've burnt myself being away from the market or gone into a meeting having all these positions in there, and you get these spikes, and with experience you learn 10 o'clock this is going to happen, and believe me, it happens. You just see that thing goes in one direction or the other direction, and
yeah.
you think you got sufficient capital in there, but it takes all of it out because of no time periods, 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. I know, we discuss this all the time.
Sure.
I mean, to be sitting in a meeting at 10 o'clock for no news, but for some reason, this thing just goes up or down,
Mm-hmm.
and it wipes you.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to be at your platform, then you need to rethink about how you're going to trade while you're not at your computer. And like you guys say, your position's too big, or if you're not sleeping well, then your position is big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you married?
Yep.
And what does your wife think about this thing?
Uh, she knows I've taken a knock.
Mm.
She doesn't stop me. She listens. Well, I have the computer on the side of the bed.
Okay.
It's here. I have my alerts on. The first time it's like, what's that noise? I'm not going to, because we're being recorded. I'm not going to say
Yeah, sure.
anything. But so I have two different alerts. If it goes in my favor, then I don't even have to lift my head. Okay, I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about waking up and seeing what's happening. The one day I think she was away, and Mohammed was in his room, and I was sleeping. And at about 2 a.m, I had a whole lot of alerts because I put them at different intervals.
Sure.
Okay. And the computer was quite loud, and he was still awake at, I think, 1 a.m. I was dozing off, and I hear this alert come in, and it was the nicest sound. I just want you to hear it once. That one is going in my favor. This one is going against me. Okay.
Is that your alert?
Yes. So when this one hits, I like, oops, at minus 10 degrees at night, I'm perspiring. And if the other one hits, I can just continue sleeping.
Okay.
No problem. So the one day, I think when it went in my favor, I had all these alerts. So all of these alerts go off after 5 seconds or something. Okay. So about these alerts triggered in my favor, and he heard it there. And I'm sure, like, he's thinking, what the hell is going on there? And after 10 alerts, all of them going off in at the same time, and it's in your favor, that's something that will wake you up and like, hold on, what is going on here?
But at least it's not a nightmare. That's a good way to wake up.
No, it wasn't. So yeah, she knows I trade it. Look, there should be a limit, because I used to take my work and my trading everywhere I go.
Yeah.
It does consume your life, if you don't stop.
I think that under control.
For certain, yeah. Recently, I have. I just walk away from the computer.
Awesome.
I walk away from the computer, and I have a trade. I put in a trade earlier, and I know, okay, if it's going to give me a loss, I will take it. I've put in my TP. If it gets hit, well and good, I come back, and now I just smile, even if it's a small profit. Something happened earlier. It closed out the trade. I had no TP. I don't know what happened. But first, I'll like get flustered, and I'll like want to phone the broker and like, hold on, what did he do here? But that's just me wanting to know what went wrong in this thing. I had no TP, but closed the trade out. And I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing, because if you can balance this, it will become more enjoyable, and it won't consume your life, especially if it goes against you.
Sure. To me, it's the right thing. I switch off my platform. TPs are in, stop losses are in. Here's what happened.
Well, I know that about you.
Yeah.
I can see, okay, this guy's not.
But even on the short term, you guys sometimes trade very, very short term, 1 minute charts and so on. Even there, you can put your stop and put your TP and just switch off. You don't have to sit and watch it, because you know your levels, you know what you're looking for. But like you said earlier, if you go into a meeting, well, don't have an open position. And if you do have an open position, put your stops and TPs in, and that's it, And I agree. To be consumed by this thing is quite easy.
But going to a meeting with a stop loss will hit your stop loss. It won't hit your TP. Guaranteed.
Oh, that's all right. You'll make it up on the next trade, Rashid.
Yeah, it is now about managing your positions. you can increase your position size the day it's going for you and just step away. Otherwise, just keep it at what you can, what your threshold is for pain.
Yeah. Excellent. And thank you so much, Rashid. That brings us to the end. Thank you for your time. It was a really great chat.
Thank you to you guys as well. I've learned a hell of a lot from in the last 2 years. I may have not applied everything, but this is one of the things that one of the best trading experience I've had, even though it hasn't gone in, but for my own reasons, it hasn't gone my way because of my own discipline. But from a system point, it's the best that I've had from TTH. It's worked. It's work. The system works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's something that you need to rectify on your own.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll stay in touch, eh?
Okay.
You stay well, and we'll chat again online.
Okay. I've always wanted to say, that's a great question, like the guys on TV. That's a great question you ask, Warren. Anyway, thanks a million.
Thanks, Rashid. Stay well, man.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.